Okay, hey guys. I'm going to attempt and do a question answer for the Formspring stuff. Sorry, I have to let you see it. I have the questions on my Formspring app so I can see them. And I'm being molested by my famous Formspring kitty. I always have pictures of her because she's adorable. Okay, so the best present I've ever gotten for Christmas was probably last year. I got my Mac, which is what I'm doing this on. But really, just in general, I've always gotten horse stuff, well, at least since I've been riding. So really just the ability to ride. I've never really gotten anything too big for Christmas, just because I ride horses and that's expensive enough. And there's a cute kitty. Okay, so my scariest fall would be when Missy's saddle stopped fitting, and so I tried one of Laura's saddles, and it actually fit her worse, and so she was in a lot of pain, and we were just doing a little Swedish oxer, and she'd always been a fan, and she'd always been kind of afraid of it. Nothing like big. I mean, it would just be kind of hard to kind of have to drive her to it, and she'd just have to take a little bit more effort to get her over it, but she didn't usually stop at it. But it'd always been more of a difficult jump for us. So she refused once or twice, and then we started trying to do it in the trot, and it turned into like a cross rail, and after cross rail she like stopped, and that was okay, but then he put it up a little bit and asked me to come back in the canter, and she refused again, and he threw his hands up and kind of yelled, and I started to get after her, and she like freaked out, and she reared, and she ended up falling over on me. So that wasn't very fun, and I ended up not landing on me, and I got back on her, and we did it again. But in poor Laura's saddle, she was letting me borrow it, so it fell over on. My top favorite songs. Oh goodness. Hold on, I gotta pull up my iTunes. Probably Lullaby by Sean Mullins, which I think I just kind of raped his last name, but it's okay. Sweet Serendipity is a big one right now. I like that a lot. And I love the song Austin, other than it doesn't mean too much to me, but it's by Blake Shelton. It's one of my favorite country songs. But I don't know, music isn't, I listen to a lot of different stuff, so music's a little weird for me, so I'm just going to kind of skip over that. But my biggest fear would be probably me having to quit riding, which would, suck. Or Missy getting hurt, because I would die. I just would be ultimately screwed. We got lucky with her and didn't pay very much, so I wouldn't be able to replace her mentally or physically as in another horse, and she's just the best pony ever. My biggest phobia would be spiders. I'm fine. Well, I don't really like bugs, but cockroaches and spiders are the worst. I hate spiders. They just freak me out, and the whole fact that they bite you is any better. Missy's feeding schedule is, as of right now, and it kind of changes with the season, but right now with it being a little bit cooler, she goes out a little bit later. So she goes out anywhere from 4:30 to 5, and then, or she has breakfast, which would be 2 scoops of Safe Choice, and probably a flake of alfalfa, and then she goes out from 5:30 to 10:15, and then she gets a half a flake of Coastal, and then at noon she gets, she gets half a flake of alfalfa, and then at noon she gets a flake of Coastal, and then at 5, I think, is when she gets dinner. And then she has another in-between hay, another half a flake in-between hay of alfalfa, and then at dinner she gets 2 more scoops and hay, and then at 7 she gets another flake of hay, because she's thoroughbred and it takes a lot for us to keep her fat. So I probably just totally told you that wrong, but I was told to do it. And I know what she's on, and I know what she does while I'm there, because I work from 8 to 1, so I know what happens between them, but I'm not so sure about what happens in the afternoon or early in the morning. If I got a tattoo, what would I want? If I was to get a tattoo, I really would like a horse brand. Like, I love the Cell Francais brand with the little star and the S and the F and everything. So something like that, or the USCF logo. The most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me. I haven't had anything really embarrassing as far as like horses or shows or even really school or anything. Yeah, I don't think I've ever really been that embarrassed, or not anything that I can really think of. And yes, I have dyed my hair multiple times. I've been dyeing my hair since I was like 8, but I went a long time without dyeing it all. Sorry, I got a text message. But I dyed it for the first time when I was about 8, and then it was undyed for a long time, all through middle school, and then I just got blonde highlights put back in it. But the brown is my natural hair color. And I love Natalie, which is Rainbow Strides on Formspring, because she's amazing and sweet and really mature for 12. So I have the coolest shirt ever. I made this for my dad when I was in preschool, and it has my little baby handprints on it. I think they've gotten a little bit bigger now, but right there you go. But, you know, whatever. And yes, I do watch Jenna Marbles, like, religiously. Like, if I'm bored, I will go and watch old episodes that I've seen 1,000 times. The Alaskan one's the best because she acts like a Canadian. I love Canadians because I think Canadians are funny and amazing, and I want to move to Canada. And Avery's also the coolest person ever. Even though she's a pony squisher, I still love her. I'm trying to see if there's any more questions, and I don't think there is. I know she asked me how I started riding, so... Well, when I was in 5th grade, my best friend at the time, who I still know and still rides, but we don't get along at all because she turned into a little slut. I'd always loved horses, and I used to ride with my cousin when I was little, like 7 or 8, and I'd only ridden them a few times, so it was just Western walk trot and like a trail ride, but her aunt had miniatures, and so I'd go out there, and we'd train the minis and show them at the little local show that was like once a year, and that's like what our whole year was planned around, was getting them ready for that one show. And they'd have babies, and we'd break the babies, and we'd feed, and we'd muck stalls, and just kind of help out and do whatever. And then it came to the point of where I wanted to really ride, but there wasn't really anything around here, and so I ended up going to boarding school in Virginia, and that's where I actually really started riding. And that was in 6th grade, and now I'm in 10th grade, so I've just now been riding for 4 years. Okay, so that's about it. Nothing too exciting, really, but that's okay, because now Natalie can leave me alone about wanting her vlog. So say goodbye to my baby kitty with her Bobo eye. She popped a blood vessel in her eye on this side. She's still the cutest kitty ever who rapes my face and is Formspring famous because I always post pictures of her and she's adorable. Say bye, Eeyore. Bye. Meow. Meow.